Well, good morning. So, lads, a different post this morning. And if you're not aware, and if you're not from Ireland, here in Ireland, we have 4 brave survivors of industrial schools who have been on hunger strike. And I'm almost positive they're going into day 51 today. I could be wrong, but it's day 51 on hunger strike. These are 4 older people who are representing just over 4,000 survivors from the industrial schools here in Ireland. If you don't know what an industrial school is, lads, look it up. Oh my God. They were treated horrendously. When we sleep at night and we wake up with a nightmare and we just kind of say, oh yeah, that wasn't real at all. When they sleep at night and they wake up with a nightmare, chances are that actually did happen to them. They were pulled from their beds, they were beaten, they were starving. Yeah, they just had a horrific life. So what they're looking for is a HAA card and a contributory pension. Most of these people are on pension age at the moment already, so all it will be about 28 euros added onto their pension. If that, I'm not quite sure of the figures, but they had been promised this over 26 years ago, and it still hasn't come true. So these 4 brave survivors are outside Dáil Éireann sleeping in a tent and just drinking water and electrolytes, I think. Somebody's bringing them that. That's it. And they're going into day 51. Like, they have suffered enough as children, and to make them suffer still. Like, there was talks on Wednesday, but today is Monday. So they left them suffer all that length of time instead of just writing down, giving them what they want, because I'm sure most Irish people who are taxpayers have absolutely no problem in giving them what they're looking for. It's not a whole lot when you think in the grand scheme of things what the government is spending our money on. Like a road can wait, a bike shed can wait. All these other things can wait. You're dealing with people's lives. And I'm sure, lads, while they're up there, going to sleep at night, I'm sure they're thinking, are we actually going to die fighting? And they're so determined, lads, they will die fighting. They're not going to give up. They are not going to give up. The government had been pre-warned that this was going to happen. So I'm sure they got maybe about 2 weeks' notice that this was going to happen. And then they've just sat back and they haven't made it their priority, to look after just over 4,000 survivors. None of us will know, lads, or even comprehend the lives that they had. Like Miriam Owens Moriarty is from here in Tralee. I've read her book. You will be crying reading that book of the life that she had. And then I'm sure the other survivors, listening to their stories. But like, I had to explain to my children last night because they didn't understand it, because most of this generation don't. They can't even think that something like this would happen in Ireland. But it did happen in Ireland, and it happened under the watchful eye of the Irish government. So, like day 51, an absolute disgrace. Our government should hang their heads in shame. They should make this a priority. These are 4 people's lives they are messing with. And we all know, lads, if something happens to one of these people, all hell will break loose. So, do you know what, lads? Just blow it up on the internet. Start talking about it. The more we talk about it, the more it's out there. Because, like, the local channels aren't really giving it much of a spin. But on social media, it's there. So, lads, just get behind it.